Yeah, fellow Ambazonians. Beza, you need to sleep. Yeah, fellow Ambazonians, fellow brothers, fellow sisters. Greetings. Good afternoon. Good evening if you're watching us from Ambazonia. Good evening. Greetings. I intended to take just about 10 minutes of my time to be with you today. I would say things that are very important because I believe this message should go far and wide, farther afield into all WhatsApp groups. I think it is time for us to finish Ayaba. Let us finish him once and for all. As I am just joining a few seconds ago. So if you're just joining me, we've just started. So it is time for us to finish Ayaba. Ayaba Cho Lucas must be finished, completely finished and diminished. Yes, of course, that is the rhetoric coming from Ambazonians who don't want to see progress. I want to start off by saying and referring you to South Africa. Recently, I saw literally every Ambazonian sharing Julius Malema's speech. Malema was saying, we are killing our fellow brothers Africans instead of chasing out the whites, instead of following exactly what the whites have been doing against us. We are chasing our own brothers to the pits of hell and killing them. That is exactly what Malema said in South Africa. Malema was crying and begging why Africans should be killing Africans in Africa instead of tracing where the problem comes from, the whites. Whites come to roll out a problem of colonialism and put you to fight against your brothers. You are wasting your time. That is what Malema said. It is happening in Ambazonia as we speak right now. Whites have rolled out colonialism, the dubious complicity by the United Kingdom, France, and the United States, and the United Nations, rather, has put us into this problem, into this colonial problem. More than half a century of colonization that has transformed into some kind of an illegal occupation by La République du Cameroon against the people of Ambazonia. And yet, all we see is that we should finish Ayaba and kill Tapang and kill your own brothers and sisters who have sacrificed, who are on a death warrant list to be killed, to be slaughtered by La République du Cameroon. And yet, these same advocates of Ayaba killers are the ones sharing Julius Malema's speech and congratulating Julius Malema for saying that Africans are killing Africans instead of chasing out the whites who have rolled out the problems. My brothers, open your eyes. If you want to kill the Ayabas, you will not be different from those like Blaise Compaoré who killed Thomas Sankara. You will not be different from those who killed the Umnyobes. You will not be different from those who jailed Mandela. You will not be different from those who jailed the Ballas and the Fontaines and the rest. You will not be different but from your so-called black Africans who are out to kill your own brothers, fighting to liberate you. Those illiterates who sit in Maryland. Those illiterates who sit in Pennsylvania, those illiterates who sit in New York, advocating for the killing of Ayaba Cho Lucas and Tapang Ivo. You are a madman in the head. You are really mad in the head. Stupid fool, idiot. When you sit and you're advocating for the killing of your own brothers, freedom fighters, you're wasting your time. If this struggle is more than you, you quit. The same people are the ones advocating that this revolution is bigger than any human being. That the revolution is bigger than any group. And if truly the revolution is bigger than any group, why do you talk about Ayaba Cho Lucas? Why do you talk about Tapang Ivo? Why do you talk about the AGC? Why do you talk about the ADF? If you think this revolution is bigger than any individual and group, don't talk about individuals and groups. Focus on the revolution as you say it is bigger than anyone. So focus on the revolution itself. And let me tell you, maybe you don't know, every revolution is made up of individuals. Ideally, the revolution is bigger than individuals. But in reality, individuals are the face of the revolution. The Mandela was the face of the South African black resistance movement. The Martin Luther King was the face of the America's black resistance movement. Thomas Sankara was the face of his own time. We have other people. Samora Machel was the face of his time. Mugabe was the face of Rhodesia. Many of them, Desmond Tutu was the face of the revolution. Ayaba is the face of the Ambazonia revolution. Ayaba is the face of self-defense. If you want, and if it paints you to hell, you can go to hell. When you study book, you have to apply it. There is what they call the ideal situation and the real situation. Ideally, no individual or group is bigger than the revolution. But in practice, individuals are the face of the revolution. There is no way you can talk about the American Black Lives Matter without citing Martin Luther King. There is no way you can talk about the South African resistance, the South African decades of apartheid without talking about Mandela. There is no way you can talk about Zimbabwe transitioning to a democracy, or the Southern Rhodesia or Rhodesia transition into Zimbabwe in 1980 or in 1979 during the Lancaster House Agreement without talking about people like Albert Mozorowa and Mugabe. There is no way you can talk about Africa or talk about Bamilikes without talking about Nyobe. There is no way you can talk about this revolution without talking about great minds like Ayaba Cho Lucas. For those who think you want to rubbish the integrity of this revolution and kill your own leaders, you are a hypocrite if you share the video of Julius Malema. You've seen what is happening in South Africa. Blacks picking up arms against blacks, chasing their own brothers out of the country. The same blacks who are suffering from the same oppression, ruled out by the whites to colonize the economy, to hijack the country. You are chasing out your own brothers who are seeking for papers. In Africa, as long as you exist in Africa, you are a citizen of Africa. You have to go to every country without visas. You have the right to live anywhere without visas. We were one when the white man came to destroy and divide us. We are still united. The problem we are facing in Ambazonia, our own newly crafted country, is that of colonialism. It was not Ayaba Cho Lucas who brought colonialism to Ambazonia. It was not Tapang who stopped you from fighting against colonialism. It was the whites, the dubious complicity of Britain, of United Nations and France to disadvantage the people of Ambazonia. So if you are messing your thoughts, keep your thoughts out of the game. I intended to do this video very short. Share it as wide as possible. Do have a splendid day. Bye-bye.